Everything you're about to see exists right now. Not in 2050, not in a sci-fi movie, today, and it's all happening in one country. For decades, we were told that the future would come slowly: self-driving cities, robotic factories, AI-managed infrastructure. But China didn't wait. It built the future while the rest of the world was still debating it. Tonight, we dive deep into how China got so far ahead and why the world didn't see it coming. This story starts in a place called Shenzhen. In the early 1980s, Shenzhen was a rural speck on the map. Just a cluster of fishing villages along the southern coast of China. If you looked at a photo from back then, you'd see little more than dirt roads and low-rise buildings. But today, it's a sprawling megacity home to over 17 million people. It's the world capital of hardware manufacturing, a place where futuristic gadgets are born. But here's the insane part. Shenzhen didn't just grow. It accelerated at a pace that defies modern history. Factories, skyscrapers, and vast transit networks were constructed at a speed no other modern nation has ever matched. So, why did this happen? How did a collection of villages transform into a global powerhouse in just a few decades? Because China used Shenzhen as a development experiment, a special economic zone where the old rules didn't apply. It became a prototype city, a place where failure was allowed, innovation was mandatory, and the goal wasn't to grow slowly and steadily, but to leapfrog generations of development. This is where the simple phrase, "China builds fast," evolved into "China builds impossibly fast." It set a precedent for the entire nation, proving that with enough focus and resources, you could compress a century of progress into just a few decades. Shenzhen became the blueprint for the future. If you want to understand China's development, you have to understand its obsession with superprojects, mega-scale infrastructure built not just for size, but for strategy. These aren't vanity projects. They are calculated moves designed to reshape the country's economy and geography. Take China's high-speed rail system. It's not just big. It's bigger than the rest of the world's high-speed rail networks combined. It connects hundreds of cities, turning what used to be a full day of travel into a quick afternoon trip. Then there's the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. This incredible feat of engineering stretches over 55 kilometers across the Pearl River Delta, linking three major economic hubs. It cuts travel times from hours down to mere minutes, creating a tightly integrated mega. And let's not forget the South-to-North Water Transfer Project, one of the most ambitious hydroengineering projects ever attempted, designed to move massive volumes of water from the water-rich south to the arid north. Even from space, you can see the impact. China's solar farms are so enormous, they literally reshape satellite imagery. Vast seas of panels gleaming under the sun. Each one of these projects isn't random. It's part of a larger pattern. Create efficiency through scale. And in China, scale is the one thing you never seem to run out of. These projects are the physical manifestation of a national will to overcome any obstacle, no matter how big. While the world sees the giant bridges and sprawling railways, there's another revolution happening, one that's less visible but far more profound. In many countries, the deployment of artificial intelligence is a slow, cautious process. It gets tangled in risk assessments, endless policy debates, and public apprehension. But in China, AI isn't just a concept being discussed. It's being implemented at an industrial scale. Entire neighborhoods are designated as testing grounds for fleets of autonomous taxis, picking up and dropping off passengers every day. Robotic delivery vehicles zip through city streets, bringing packages to doorsteps. And in massive ports like Ningbo-Jushan, one of the busiest in the world, huge container cranes and automated trucks operate with minimal human labor. A silent, behind China's incredible rise is a hidden superpower, a core advantage that explains so much of its success: national speed. This isn't just about building things quickly. It's about the entire system being optimized for action and rapid execution. In many places, a major infrastructure project can get trapped in committee meetings for years, bogged down by bureaucracy and debate. Construction stalls, deadlines are missed, and costs spiral. But in China, when a decision is made, things move. When a city needs a new metro line to ease congestion, it appears, sometimes in just a few years. When a region needs a massive new housing complex, it's built. The most dramatic example of this was during the early days of the pandemic, when entire hospitals rose from the ground in just 10 days. This ability to mobilize millions of workers, coordinate vast supply chains, and deploy heavy machinery almost overnight gives China a development velocity that most of the world simply can't match. Of course, this system isn't perfect and it has its flaws, but its capacity for swift, decisive action is undeniable. It's a system designed not for deliberation, but for doing. So what does it actually feel like to live in a place where the future has arrived ahead of schedule? For many in China's major cities, life operates like something out of a sci-fi simulation. Imagine a society where cash is almost obsolete. From street food vendors to high-end boutiques, nearly every transaction is done instantly through a phone. No cards, no coins, just a quick scan. Cities are becoming smarter too. Networks of sensors track traffic flow in real time, feeding data to AI systems that adjust traffic lights to prevent gridlock. The energy grid is also becoming intelligent, with AI balancing electricity demand to prevent blackouts and integrate massive amounts of clean energy from wind and solar farms. And then there's transportation. The Shanghai Maglev train hit speeds of over 600 kilometers per hour, blurring the line between a train and a low-flying aircraft. The sprawling high-speed rail network connects major cities with the convenience and frequency of a subway system. These things aren't just prototypes in a lab or concepts for a distant future. They're not secret government projects. They are normal, everyday life for millions of people. So, after seeing all of this, the Megacities built from scratch, the world record-breaking super projects, the massive deployment of it, and robotics, and the sheer, unmatched speed of it, all we have to ask the real question. Is China simply a country that's growing very quickly, just another developing nation on an accelerated path? Or has it already crossed a threshold into a different era of development altogether? Because if these futuristic cities, this hyperspeed construction, and this industrial-scale AI deployment represent what the future looks like, then the narrative that China is just catching up to the West might be completely wrong. It raises a fascinating possibility. Maybe China isn't catching up at all. Maybe it's pulling away. What do you think? Is China the world's most advanced nation today, or is there another country secretly competing for that title? Drop your theory in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching.